At the end of the month, you can see around the corner here that sun starting to peek over the horizon. Exact Track 4D showing clear conditions across the Great Lakes region. Just not going to stay that way throughout the rest of the week. So 45 degrees in the city right now, 40 in Ann Arbor, 45 in Pontiac. We have 46 in Monroe and pretty calm conditions across the area. Monroe reporting a 3-mile-per-hour wind speed. That's out of the northeast. And so it's going to be a calm start to your day. Sunshine returning throughout the morning with a few clouds mixing in this afternoon. And that arrives ahead of our next rainmaker. But for today, 81 the afternoon high. So definitely a summer feel in the air for today. As far as your high temperatures, they will vary if you're closer to the water, trending a little cooler. And so 76 for the high in Port Huron today, maybe even low 70s down into Monroe. But the rest of us across the heart of the metro area will chalk it up to either side of 80. So that's putting us about 10 degrees above average. If you are heading out to Comerica Park this evening, Tigers starting a new homestand against the Red Sox. That's going to be a 6:40 first pitch. So plan for likely upper 70s at that point. More clouds mixing in. I can't rule out a drip or a drop by the end of the game, but I think most of that could dodge Comerica Park until we get towards later part of the evening. And so I'm not going to rule it out, but there is just a very small chance. So tracking those showers, let's show you what we're talking about here. By 1 o'clock this afternoon, clouds start to roll in. Now, some of that could be more of a thin high cloud cover before really thickening up heading into tonight. And then once we get into the later part of the evening and early tonight, some scattered rain chances, but it's not widespread. So we'll hold on to that scattered variety going into tomorrow morning. And even a couple little spotty showers by the later part of your Tuesday. So for tonight, 61 under mostly cloudy skies, and I'm not ruling out that rain chance. Come tomorrow, smidge cooler, 75 with those scattered rain chances lingering. So not a washout, but we do have more rain arriving going into Wednesday. We'll hold on to those rain chances off and on. I think by the time we get to Thursday morning, we get a little lull, but then our attention shifts off to the west, and that's going to be potentially a thunderstorm maker for us. Now, this model not pulling it in until Thursday night into Friday morning. But as far as the Storm Prediction Center, they're putting us under a 15% chance of seeing severe weather come Thursday, which that will translate to as we get closer to that event. Likely a marginal risk for severe weather, and that clips the western edge of Oakland, Wayne County, and pushing on west. And so we'll be fine-tuning that part of the forecast. Otherwise, probably about a half inch, maybe upward of that by the time we get to the end of Friday. That's a week's worth of rainfall. So you're still going to have to do some watering, even with these scattered rain chances, especially with warmer temperatures. Back into the 80s Thursday, Friday, this weekend, either side of 70.
Now, forewarned weather with Exact Track 4D.
Probably also a good reminder that even if you're not doing yard work, but you're inside your home, not to leave the garage door open, because it's that time of year where it's nice outside, but someone could sneak in and out before you know it while you're in the comfort of your home. So thanks, Kim. Exact Track 4D, as we take a look, you can see calmer conditions across the Great Lakes, and that translates to blue skies over downtown Detroit, where we sit at 46 degrees, 44 in Ann Arbor, 43 in Pontiac, 48 in Monroe, and pretty calm conditions wind-wise. And so starting off in the 40s, but we are going to quickly be warming things up. We will be into the 60s by 10 a.m. thanks to all that sun, and 80s before it's all said and done. Either side of 80 for the afternoon high. A few clouds do mix in this afternoon. Overall, partly cloudy throughout a good chunk of the afternoon before the clouds went out and rain chances arrive late this evening into tonight. And that will start a more active pattern. But high temperatures today, either side of 80, trending a little cooler in Monroe. That's really twofold. We're going to see the clouds increase earlier from the south to north. And so that'll hinder temperatures a bit. And then right by the water will be a bit cooler too. 76 in Port Huron for the high today. So let's talk about baseball. Tigers taking on a new homestand against the Red Sox. First pitch 6:40 tonight. We'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies, upper 70s for first pitch, and we could be falling into the upper 60s by game's end. There will be a chance for a shower too by the later innings, but there's also a good chance that it will dodge Comerica Park, and I'll show you why. So here's those clouds increasing into the afternoon, and we will have those clouds winning out through the overnight, but then the rain is very light and very scattered. So that's why I said there's a good chance it could miss Comerica Park, but equally it could just roll over there as well, and we'll have those scattered rain chances into tomorrow morning. Maybe a couple pockets of some moderate to heavy downpours as you get closer to daybreak. By the time we get to Tuesday evening, looking like most of that kind of flares up off to our west, but we will be in and out of the rain throughout the work week. So tonight mostly cloudy with that chance for a shower. 61 for the overnight low, which is about 10 degrees above where we should be for overnight lows. 75 tomorrow. So smidge cooler tomorrow, but still warm, and we will have the scattered rain chances. Let's let's take a more broad view of long-range models of how the rain shakes out. And so we hold on to that moisture Tuesday. Better chance for that rain to work in Tuesday night. We'll have a couple rain chances on Wednesday. Now, long-range models are not as pinpoint specific, but it does show you all the moisture in the area, which could lead to rain. And so with that moisture, we're also going to be talking about humidity in a second, but I want your eyes to be drawn to what's off to the west, close towards Minneapolis, and that's going to eventually work its way eastward. And so late Thursday or even early Friday is when we have a chance for a few scattered thunderstorms to develop across the area. Severe weather risk for about western Oakland, western Wayne County on west Thursday. Now that's going to maybe fluctuate in timing if it will end up being earlier Friday morning. But nonetheless, by the end of the day Friday, this is a week's total of rainfall. Will probably be upward of about a half of an inch. You still need to do some watering. But I mentioned the humidity, muggy meter, making a comeback. It's that season now. And so Tuesday and beyond, you'll start to feel that humidity rise with the heat. We're back in the 80s Thursday, Friday, either side of 70 this weekend.